What really happened on the 11th of May 1931? Come with me and let's find out. Ready to find the truth, Banshee? Let's go! That was the Berlin premiere of Fritz Lang's first sound film, starring Peter Lorre, a film which the most crucial member of the cast never got to see. Fritz Lang and my great-grandfather, Stack and Delaney, were best friends, so when Peter Lorre admitted he couldn't whistle, Lang entrusted that delicate job to Delaney's discerning lips. The whistling was a crucial part of the film's plot, you see, and everything was going grand, until Lang accused Delaney of whistling at Garza Camp. Lang was in love with Garza Camp and fiercely jealous, and the two boys fell out over it. But of course, Delaney hadn't been whistling at her. He'd merely been warming up his whistling equipment as she happened to walk past, and she hadn't minded. Garza was a rubber woman working for Austria's giant mountain king, and she'd never heard whistling before she came to the big city. The air is too cold and too thin up in the mountains for anyone to whistle, and she was smitten by Delaney's magic lips, as she called them. So Delaney hadn't done anything wrong at all. Nonetheless, when Delaney learned that Lang had bought a ring to pop the question, he bought one too, for 1 chalk mark, which was Germany's old currency, because good rubble women are hard to find. Delaney reckoned that Lang would pop the question after the film, when everybody was saying how great he was. So Delaney raced up the mountain to meet Garza before the premiere. But Garza had already laid out the giant mountain king's meal of 6 barbecued oxen and a paddling pool full of warm jelly and left. And Delaney had rushed so fast to meet her that he hadn't even put on a jacket, and it was cold up in the mountains. So the paddling pool full of warm jelly looked very tempting. He told himself he'd just sit in it for a minute to get the chill out and then he'd leave. Instead, he fell asleep and barely escaped with his life. It was the rattling of oxen bones on an enormous plate that woke him just as the mountain king reached for the paddling pool of jelly. Delaney jumped out of it at the very last minute and squelched back to town as fast as he could. But he was too late. Lang had the cinema doors locked when everybody else arrived, and the next time Delaney saw Garza and Lang, they were married. So Delaney went to France to forget, but even there he succeeded too well, because he forgot to tell people that he knew how to speak French. So they didn't know he knew how to speak French. And he knew they didn't know that he knew how to speak French, but they didn't know that he knew that they didn't know that he knew how to speak French. So you could say he died, tragically, of being the man who knew too much. But sure, that's nothing compared to what happened to my other great-great-grandfather. Make sure you follow or subscribe, or whatever they call it these days, so you don't miss that story. Menchie, let's go!